I'm not confident. I'm not confident in those type of games. You know, I'm gonna buy it just because of what it is, but like, also, I'm not confident in the fact that it's set for PS4. And I'm thinking
Welcome.
if it's gonna come out 2021, the PS5 will be out already. And although the PS5 plays PS4 games, they confirm. So I guess that there's that.
Well, first of all, welcome everybody. Episode
Yeah.
55 of the Lookout Podcast. I am Meelz. I'm here at the Platinum Shinobu himself, Jeff.
Yo
And
yo.
we are here talking about whatever news has come up from this Demon Slayer game, which will be on the PS4 coming out next year. It's not like they've stopped all production on PS4 games coming out,
No,
right? Like,
no, of course not. There's still going to be games that probably drop for PlayStation 4. I know PlayStation 5 kind of got some information spread out last week, which did say that PS4 games would run backwards compatible on the
of
5.
course,
So,
the
I
teraflops.
guess,
How could you forget?
right. So, I mean, now, again, this game may still come out on PlayStation 5, and they just didn't announce it because technically the 5 doesn't have a release date, but, you know.
You're right. You're right. Anyway, we have this game that's coming out. It's probably the biggest news from Demon Slayer that we've heard thus far, thus yet. They announced that we will get more news on the Demon Slayer movie itself on April 10th. So we have April 10th to look for as a new date of when we can expect some new news. It still says 2020 that it's supposed to come out. Whether that will still be the case, not fully sure. I felt like I read something that after the end of season 1, they went straight into the movie and animating and all these other things like that. So I feel like just in general, it should be doable.
Let us hope,
Pending,
man.
pending no, like, we got stuff we got to clean up, we got other things we got to do, and it's all being delayed because of this coronavirus. So let's hope that's at least the case. But I mean, Demon Slayer game, we talked about this before with anime games, usually not very good. You still have no real confidence in this game itself.
No,
Whether
I
the
don't.
graphics look fire or whatever, whoever is designed by, Cyber Connect 2, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've taken my share on anime games, and usually, yeah, they look cool. I mean, you don't have to do too much work because
they're usually
anime
not
art
worth the
looks pretty cool.
$60 that they end up costing.
No, there's a lot of restrictions. You probably can't do exactly what you're asking for. But I mean, obviously, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna see what's up with it because it's Demon Slayer. But the One Piece games, the Naruto games, which the Naruto games they do have a few here and there. Dragon Ball has kind of found a little niche, but other than that, man, I don't know. Jump Force is like a goofy fighting game. If you just love anime, you're probably gonna fuck with it. But if not, you don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So One Piece, like I said, those games are not very good. Attack on Titans, they just don't do well. But
Why do
I
you
don't know.
feel
We'll
like
see.
what's the disconnect? I don't know. I'm really trying to find the disconnect between anime games.
They're restricted, bro. I think like you're always put in these stories that you may have just got done reading or watching, and you're doing it again. From the trailer or the little sneak peek that they gave us for this Demon Slayer game, I mean, it looks like we're basically going to be going through kind of what we've been watching.
Right.
So I think them having that niche of like staying put to the story. To me, you want to do Demon Slayer right, you need a RPG, create your own, Demon Slayer and go through this massive world. That's what you're looking for, right? I mean,
So
we don't
I'll
ever get
ask
like
this
that.
for you as a gamer and like me not as a gamer. What makes anime games different from like for say like a Spider-Man game or a Batman
Yeah.
game where it's like this giant world? Is it really this kind of the open world type of thing now at this point?
Yeah, bro. It's the open. I mean, you want to be able to do everything. If people want a Dragon Ball game, they want to be able to create a player, go, choose if they want to be a Saiyan. I think that's why Xenoverse did so well for a while because it was so creative. Create a Frieza race or Saiyan or human or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. That's what people want. They want that online capability. They want to play with people. Imagine if we got to buy Demon Slayer, right? This game on Switch, and we got to create our own Demon Slayer and go into a world together and fight. You know what I'm saying? People will go crazy for that. But instead, you're probably going to be playing Tanjiro and you're going to be Nitch. You'll probably have to unlock some weapons, beat the same demons that you kind of seen on
Probably have
TV,
to fish to get
Yeah,
experience points
it's
and
going to be
like
little things that just kind of keep people from being excited about fully embracing the game.
right, 100%. I mean, this game I can only see it because the first season is the only season that they've ever done. So for them to be like kind of jumping into the game to me is kind of surprising. But I do feel like they want to get a head start on like the money.
Yeah, it's there, especially if the
the
series
money's
is as
like-
short as it's rumored to be.
Also, got to give a shout out to our winner, Demon Slayer winner, 2 years contest winner. Shout out to Riggs, Big Riggs 83.
It's coming to you, man. It's coming to you.
It's coming to you. He wins 11 first. The 11, first of all, let me get this right. 11 English chapters of Demon Slayer. 11 English volumes, not chapters. Volumes of Demon Slayer shipped right from us. The smell of platinum Chanel will be all on it. No,
absolutely, not really, but yes.
But we're setting it to him. It's great. We're going to continue to do more giveaways, so make sure you continue to follow the Lookout RNC on Twitter. Jeff, do you have any final words to say before we hand it over to the actual episode itself?
No, man, it's been great, and like you said, I hope we have more Demon Slayer news that pops up so we can keep it pushing and do some fun things going ahead. But yeah, man, we got more stuff coming regardless if this is our final bout as far as Demon Slayer is concerned.
Yes, stay tuned for stuff on season 8. Stay tuned on stuff from Mount Slayer. Nice. Mount Silver season 2. Stay tuned to the Lookout RNC on Twitter for more things just in general. And yeah, we're ready to rock. Let's take it over to the actual episode itself. And we are back.
2020.
As always, we're back here. We have a special guest, of course. If you have not seen the title of the episode, it is Jamal of the Big Eyes Podcast. Sir, how are you doing in these days?
I'm doing well. Life is good.
How's the experience doing Big Eyes?
Oh
yeah, man. How is it, man?
Man, listen, Big Eyes that's my baby, bro. Like for real, like Big Eyes is my baby. I love it. I'm gonna start expanding a lot more into different mangas and just just continue to have fun with it. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here with the Lookout crew. We all under the same network now. So like Meelz said once before, if y'all don't want people dancing all up in your videos,
you already know there's always a spot for you.
Always a spot for you at Lookout RNC. But man, happy to be here.
Absolutely. So we're here, Lookout RNC, of course, heavy, strong. And in the final episode that we're covering, the first season of Demon Slayer. Just thus far, I'm gonna swing this over to Jeff now. Jeff, this entire season, you know what? I'm not gonna swing it over to Jeff. I know what Jeff thinks. Jamal, because I know Jeff's gonna say this was amazing.
I mean,
Jamal, your thoughts on this entire season
of Demon Slayer? Man, this entire season has been some of the best anime I've watched like ever. And I watch a lot of anime. So Demon Slayer was definitely something I feel that anime was, I'm not gonna say missing right now, but it's something it kind of needed. Like I feel like there's like this, this shift of there's this shift coming of new iconic animes, and I feel like they were just kind of missing one more.
I think they're definitely in a renaissance right now in terms of
100%, 100%.
Like you got like My Hero is really holding it, like really holding it down.
You're absolutely right.
And I don't know, bro. Like I think they're just missing something. And like Demon Slayer came around, and I'm pretty sure that when they were making Demon Slayer, their intent wasn't, hey, let's become the next big thing, but it became the next big thing. And you could see with the care that they put into it.
It definitely feels like a passion project a lot of times watching it.
Congratulations to that whole team and them.
It doesn't happen like this all the time. Like this is special. And My Hero is a great example. I think One Punch Man, My Hero, Attack on Titans, like those things don't happen often where they home run in America. The merch works everywhere. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't matter. Like Promised Neverland, right? I consider a hit, right? But it's not like people are, drooling to talk about Promised Neverland. You can still feel the difference between the success of the Promised Neverland and Demon Slayer is what I'm trying to say. Both,
right.
Promised Neverland is on, and it's good, but you can just tell there's an energy that it gives off. It's almost like when we listen to an album and we're like, damn, this is really good, or this is okay, or this is, you just know.
I think just in general with the follow-up of the Naragumo arc and kind of capping off this first season, I think it's, in terms of kind of how they structured this entire season, I think we saw kind of the peak and the sort of the zenith of it when we talked about the fight versus Rui. And it's interesting that they kind of choose this cool down, and it's not only one episode, it's like a series of like 4 or 5 episodes.
Right.
That they kind of choose to like cool down the series because they kind of know you're taking them on this kind of emotional high. And I think a lot of animes at this point would have taken you on that emotional high and maybe have kind of left you on that high a bit for that final episode. But this one decided, hey, we're going to take you here and then we're going to bring you down. We're going to add a little bit more development to the character. We're continuing, it's going to cool down, but we're also going to build you back up, because through this entire advancement, now you kind of you're anticipating what's coming next, and and they're telling all these stories, and they're kind of leaving everything, like you said, a lot of open-ended, a lot of questions, a lot of things, a lot of desires that you want to see moving on to the next arc. I mean, through this entire episode, we finally, see the Hashiras. We finally see what they contribute to the series. We finally get we get another taste of Muzan at the end of this, in the final episode of this of the season. We get a couple more advancements for the training of Tanjiro and Zenitsu and Inosuke, and we kind of see a lot of different that, and you're seeing all this and you're like, oh, they're getting stronger. I wonder how much it's going to go to the next level next. And that's kind of where it left you, it brought you back down, but it kind of left you back up, but it didn't really leave you like in the sense of like hanging too far.
No, I didn't really have anybody to. I find myself like near the end of certain seasons, I end up hating someone, right? I'm like, damn, who do I just like absolutely despise at this very moment? And there's nobody really. They already kind of build Muzan already to, what he is, or she is, what it is. It's already an evil presence. I've kind of already made my decision based on how I feel about that character. So that scene, although to me is probably, it's a top 2 scene in this entire thing, was very evil and gore, and that's very graphic. It's a crazy scene, but man, I didn't really hate anybody at the end of the last episode. I'm more excited about what the fuck is next than like who I'm frustrated with.
I didn't think it's weird because we have this entire movie coming out and stuff, but when I ended this thing, I didn't really feel mad or just like, oh god, I need to watch more. Like I felt like, okay, all right, we're getting ready to go to the next thing. It gave you a different feeling as opposed to, I think, most animes where they kind of like leave you hanging and just like, damn, there's no more episodes. Fuck, I gotta wait 18 months for this. Like so many other animes.
I'm kind of like Jeff, where like at the end of a season, I want to figure out the person I hate. Like I want to figure out the person I hate first, more than the person that I like the most.
Yeah.
And at the end of this, like I really had no one that I hated or disliked. Even Muzan, I like thoroughly enjoyed him. And, like his entrance or like how they introduced him was so dope to me. And it was, he just this sinister, as villain who he didn't really say much, but his actions and everything that he's done, like it tells me everything I need to know. But one thing I do enjoy is that how how long they held off introducing certain characters.
Are you guys ready to meet the Hashiras?
Yes.
In terms of Hashiras, pillars, so they just
I'm more interested in the pillars than maybe anything, honestly.
You know what's interesting? So
in the first season.
In terms of the terminology in the dub show,
they
call
pillars.
them but they call them Hashiras. I legitimately when I watched
is it
in the latest episode
in the manga, are they calling them pillars?
I think in the manga they're calling them pillars. I'm not sure where. I know at some point we obviously know that there was some terminology used with the term pillars.
Oh, I thought they were calling them pillars in the dub. I haven't even started watching yet.
In the dub, well, the dub's not finished yet. You still got like
I'm a Blu-ray nigga. Like when the Blu-ray drop, I'll watch it in the dub. Right?
Yeah, July, August, one of them. Watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely calling them Hashiras in the dub. So I'm just like, interesting. Okay, but I think you can go between pillars.
Whatever you got, you know what I'm talking. You know what we're talking.
Yeah,
about.
but we're gonna introduce them all. I'm gonna try my best to pronounce these names and not butcher it in any sort of way. I'm gonna go by one. You guys can tell me what you think, if you even remember them. I'll give them like their occupation in terms of what Pillar and Hashira actually are.
Yeah, I remember.
So I'm gonna go one by one. You guys are gonna give me your opinions on them. First of all, we have Giyu, of course, the first Pillar Hashira that we met. What are your guys' general thoughts on Giyu thus far?
Yeah, obviously he's meant to be important. He has a relationship with Tanjiro, one of the flat out coolest guys, in the series. Very smooth to himself. Reminds me a lot of myself. I like him, man. That's my guy, man. I got a tattoo drawn up that may or may not happen. So I want to watch more and figure more things out. But I love the character, man. He's incredible.
I rock with him. I like the he's a part of the group, but he tries to kind of like separate himself out from the group. Like he just be like, I rock with y'all. Yeah, he's just like, I rock with y'all, but I really don't rock with y'all. Like, I'll go do my own thing. I do think he is very important in terms of just, especially for Tanjiro and his growth and development as a character, because he's kind of like his mentor in a sense. Like, Tanjiro gets mentored by everybody, but it's kind of like he was the one that really pushes him down this path.
Without him, maybe he'd probably be dead.
Yeah, for real. And so he, his importance to the series, is vast, but he's just a really cool character
he's meant to be liked, clearly. Like
they
made him to be, they want you to like the character.
He is the water pillar. Up next we have the insect pillar, Shinobu, who we've seen in the last couple episodes themselves. She showed up in the last arc.
Meelz, I want you to I don't really want to tell you what I think about her. I want you to, because Meelz' whole thing about her is like it's genius.
She's kind of a bitch.
Yeah. like Meelz thinks like Meelz does not like this woman. Like,
I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't trust. So my thing is, I guess there's a lot of mystery surrounding her that's eventually unveiled as we go through this entire season. Yeah. And she holds a lot of hate for things, but I think that I didn't like the way she handled that demon in terms of just like the whole like, and we talked about it in the last one. Yeah, that whole last one of like, I just want to know if you're lying to me. Are you lying to me? I just wanted to ask to know if you're lying, because I already know that
we can be friends, but it's after I kill you and you come back to a new person.
Yeah, so she obviously has a major, we learned throughout this entire thing, she has a major disdain for demons. Even though it's kind of weird, she has this conversation with Tanjiro at the end of this entire thing, and she was like, overall, I want demons. I hope that you, Tanjiro, kind of find the link and able to make demons and humans friends. Mm-hmm. But in terms of me, they're no friend of mine. So, but I just don't, she's weird. I guess
she is weird. She is weird.
She's very weird. But I do like how they Pillar has their own special kind of technique in these things. I like how hers is she can't, she's not strong enough to cut their heads off, so she uses the poison. I don't know. I think that aspect about her is cool. But no, I think she definitely does have some personal things she needs to work out. She's slightly insane. Like she's slightly crazy. Like
she's very much so.
And they all are in some aspect, but her way seems much more like psychotic.
Up next we have the Flame Pillar, who we will get to know a lot more in this upcoming arc, movie, etc., etc. His name is, wait for it, Kyojuro Rengoku. I hope I pronounced that right. But we don't know much about him. I mean, he looks like a flame pillar. I mean,
cool design. He has a lot of enthusiasm. He's very enthusiastic. He speaks very loud.
He's always smiling.
He almost shouts when he speaks.
He types in all caps.
Yes, 100% types in all caps. But the design is amazing. I look at him like, he's going to be important. And then, of course, we find out, he's centered around the film. And if you read the books, you also know, more. But, cool design. Obviously, don't know too much about him. But his personality is very, loud and ambitious. And like you say, he's always had this, not a happy smile. It's just, he's just smiling.
Yeah, I like how, I don't think characters blink in anime, but you could tell that he just doesn't blink at all. Like his eyes are just shot open. He has this wild smile. Like you could tell he's a very intense type of guy.
Great big eyes analysis there.
Yes, you know. He's a very cool looking character, and especially how they introduced him, you could tell that he is another important character. And then at the, you know, obviously then the movie trailer drops. But no, very cool. I'm always a fan of fire users.
It's fire,
like you know,
wrong,
you know? You can't really get fire wrong. It's very hard. I feel if you mess up fire, that's on you. I feel if you mess up a fire type character, that's on
fire,
you.
Man, you know.
Let's talk about the sound pillar himself. Maybe Don Flamboyant.
Don Flamboyant.
It's Jeff. That's
maybe
Jeff
Tengen.
Everything he does is flamboyantly, you know.
Okay, so he had actually the funniest moment of the season. Because when you get introduced to him, and he then they are, you know, they got Nezuko doing her thing, and he says, "I'm gonna kill her in the most flamboyant blood spray." I was like,
it's gonna be a beautiful death, you know,
bro. This dude, man, he's
icy. You know what I'm saying? He's the
The
fit
drip
is
is
hard.
there, yes.
The drip is incredible. I mean, one of the better fits. And when you learn about him, like in the fucking manga, like, oh my god, dude!
First of all,
I'm telling you, it's Jeff.
He's double bladed up, which it
Yes.
can be. It's easily that makes him that adds like 100 more cool points. So it's like yes.
I don't
he's
even think
double-bladed.
he takes his arms off of both swords the whole time. Like his arms are like behind his head the whole time, just holding both of them. He was on action the whole scene.
You never know. Don Flamboyant, man.
Up next we have the love pillar Mitsuri Kondroji.
She's horny.
Super horny.
Yeah.
A little bit.
She's a thought. Get her lit.
No, don't say that.
Listen. That to me, like, that's all I can really say about it. I mean, dope character though. Visually, she's a cute girl, and obviously she has, you know, anime titties, but she is the love pillar, so it makes sense. It makes sense that she's very horny. No matter who does something, doesn't matter. Look at the way he's standing there.
She is, as they say, she is 19 years old, which is interesting. In case you want to know more about her birthday is June 1st. That means she's a Gemini.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Combat style, breath of love. Let me see. I'm saying this like it's fucking MTV.
But the cool thing
like we're about to date her or something.
Yeah. No, the cool thing though is if you read the manga, she low-key has the coolest weapon out of everybody. Yeah. So read the manga because her weapon is actually pretty dope. Her sword, how her sword is designed, it is tight.
Listen, just love all the way through. So
yes,
shout out to
she loves
love.
Yeah.
Next we have Mochiro Tokyo, who is the Mist Pillar. Let's talk about him then.
I just like how he's dumb. I like dumb characters. Like Slowbro is my favorite Pokemon. Like I like characters who are just kind of out of it. Right. When you introduce him, he's just like, what's the shape of this cloud?
Yeah, like he don't. That was one thing at first. I was like, all right, so what's up with this exactly? What are they trying to do with this one? But yeah, the whole I don't really care about anything and I don't know anything is kind of. I mean, it's cool.
He is 14 years old.
Oh wow,
that's crazy, and already a Hashira, so you know he gifted.
Yeah, he definitely gifted. He with it. Yeah.
Miss Pillar. What else do you have to say in terms of let's say this, considering, you know, your big eyes, if you had to give people a preview of what they can expect in the manga from him or expect moving forward, is it good things, bad things? What do you think?
Very good things. You know, his backstory and actually why he even acts the way he does is actually kind of like heart touching. Like it's kind of, you know,
they're all heart
touches you in the film. They all are, but kind of just like, you know, when, because you really get to see him in action against some of the more powerful demons, and you see actually how strong he really is, especially for a 14-year-old. But his character in general, he has. It's really cool to see how he finds his resolve, how he handles himself even in very precious like situations. Like he's one of those characters that he may be, they may write him off as like kind of, this airhead, but when it's go time, he's a killer. And that's kind of like was my most that's what I liked him out most, is that like when it was go time, he was still kind of like this airhead, but it's like he was in kill mode. So he's a beast. He is a beast. He's my favorite pillar out of all the pillars.
Up next we have the stone pillar, Gyome Himijima, aka Brock. He's that's the one I think when I think stone pillars, I think of that guy. He's 27 years old, so much older than most people. I think he's the number one Hashira. Like he's the top. Is he the top one?
I think he actually is. He's the leader of the whole clan.
Yeah, so we talk about it. If you 100% read the manga, he gets some very interesting things moving forward in terms of battles and all this other stuff. You don't see him much until you hit a certain point, but you kind of know in terms of the sense that's his character that kind of looms over the other one, that he's the leader, he is the oldest, he is the one who kind of puts things together. I think he's blind.
I think so.
He is
blind and crying
all the time. So you know what? I'm not mad. So I'm not mad at all.
No, it's cool.
We respect the king that could be emotional.
Right.
Yes,
and the design is pretty good. It's dope.
Gyome embodies the gentle giant archetype, being surprisingly soft-spoken and sensitive despite his intimidating appearance. That's all I can say about that. If you want to date him, feel free.
27.
Next one, Snake Pillar, Obanai Iguro. Kind of a dick.
Yeah, one, I think that's the one where they're like, all right, we want you to feel some type
chilling
of way
in the
about
tree.
One of these guys. Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he was chilling in the tree when he was getting introduced to everybody. First of all, two-toned eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
parents on fleek.
Yeah. I mean, come on, that's just cool as fuck. Like
the two-tone eyes, the mask, the snake that chills with him. Yeah, man, he's YSL. Like, man,
yeah, he's slat out.
he's slat, super slat. One thing I really love about each pillar is that all their designs are cool. All their designs are connected with their breathing technique. But I do think that just Iguro he's the coolest looking one. Like he just has the coolest looking fit, like the snake and everything, the two-tone eyes, like you said. Like he is, how they introduced him with him chilling in the tree. You kind of had this sense of
they separated him. Definitely, they wanted you to like pay attention to him a little bit more for whatever reason.
And
First of all, he drops the nastiest elbow.
I know, dude, nigga, like.
Bro,
first of all, he drops an elbow on his back, but Tanjiro's also on a bed of fucking stone.
Right.
And his ribs are broken.
Yeah, ribs broken. They're telling him to chill, and he's like, "No, he needs to chill."
They're stabbing his sister.
They're stabbing his sister. He's just sitting there, bro. Oh man, but no, yeah, he a wild one. But I like how they kind of, when they did. Show Gyu, he has this like loner type feel, like once they separate him. But like when they separated him, it was more so of a like, does he really fuck with him? Like he looked like a type of dude that would like cross him. Like I kind of think of
he's a snake.
He's a snake. Like I like that feeling that you get from him of I know what his next move. He seems really unpredictable.
We have the final pillar, or Hashira, depending on when you call it, Tsunemi Shinazugawa. He is the one who causes the most trouble when we first introduced him, because he has no love for any demon or any conversation regarding love and demons. Yeah. It's really, F everyone that you love if you love demons. He's introduced in sort of the most, probably, I would say, the most violent way possible, as he's the one who kind of grabs Nezuko's box, and he's as they're currently trying to question Tanjiro about, like, hey, why are you hanging out with a demon? And they're also questioning Gyu a bit. It's like, hey, how did you allow him to hang out with a demon? Like, aren't we supposed to be demon slayers? It's in the name.
Gyu don't even care through this whole situation as well.
Gyu's like, whatever, just if you kill her, just, you know,
I'm not answering
whatever.
shit.
Yeah. We don't speak.
He definitely pulled up with all the action. He pulled up definitely on full negative mode. They even, like, he really is the badass of the group. He's 100%. The one that, he killed the most demons. He's always out fighting. Like, he's the badass. He's the wild card of the group. How they introduced him, though, throughout this series, like, this series is much more, like, violent than I, like, really thought it was gonna be. Like, he came through, he's, like, stabbing her, he cuts himself, like, he eats a headbutt.
Yeah, that shit was graphic. That shit was graphic as fuck. Every time Nezuko gets, like, fucked up, they show it very, like, they want you to feel it.
Yeah, so, for real.
The entire situation regarding Tanjiro meets these 9 pillars or so. He meets them in terms of getting questioned about them, in terms of his relationship with Nezuko, even though he's supposed to be a demon slayer, pledged to the demon core, in terms of, like, you will kill all demons. You cannot be friends with the demons. Demons kill humans, etc., etc. Then we get Tsunemi Shinazugua, who essentially is like, hey, if she is as non-lethal as she apparently is, then you won't mind me stabbing her and seeing what she's going to do. Yeah. He grabs the box, goes in the inside, because it's like, nah, she's not going to come out if it's in the sun. And it's like, oh, true.
Good idea.
Say less. I like how him and Igor are, like, partners throughout. Oh yeah, this.
They definitely.
They're, like, egging each other on.
Pulled up.
Oh yeah. So he stabs the box, some blood comes out, Nezuko eventually pops out, and eventually Tsunemi just says, hey, I'm going to, cut myself. It's my own blood. And if she is true and won't, hurt humans, she won't resist my blood. And you see Nezuko kind of, like, the demon part of her is kind of, like, really unfurling, because there's the saliva and the drool and everything as she's standing in front of this human blood. And she knows that kind of, like, eating humans is what makes demons stronger. Obviously, we're 5 episodes deep into the season. You have to know this by now. So she's really kind of, I wouldn't say it's kind of conflicting, but she's definitely having a moment in her brain where her sort of primal instincts.
It was her weakest moment since. I would definitely say it was her weakest moment since, originally turning. And maybe it's like, damn, I'm in this tough situation where she clearly sees what's going on, right? But they're trying to convince me to eat right now. Like,
right. Yeah, she had that battle of her urges of, do I go full demon right now? Like, I gotta chill. Yeah, like you said, it's definitely the first moment of weakness we've seen in a while. And I like the situation where they set it up at too, because she actually, like, she has to control it, because
especially in this situation.
And so, like, how they bring this moment up is so intense because of everything that's kind of on the line right now. Of, if she wilds out, her and her brother are pretty much dead.
Yep.
No, go ahead.
No, I was done.
So she doesn't wild out, obviously. He tries to bait her, he doesn't wild out, and then it's kind of proven there. We also get introduced to the 97th leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, the head honcho himself, Kagaya Ubuyashiki. My God. This is the guy who kind of we've been seeing over there. He's low-key introduced in, like, episode 4, but, like, kind of shrouded in mystery. We kind of see various things throughout the entire arc. I think he's more so shown in the last set of episodes that we talked about, even though we didn't talk about it, because he's the one who dispatched Shinobu and Gyu over to Mount Naragumo because he realized a lot of his people were dying. And he's the one who kind of gathers all the Hashiras there, mainly because he wants to have a meeting with them regarding the future and things like that. But he also wanted to meet Tanjiro and also Nezuko and kind of see what's, going on from there. And he's proven. I mean, he seems to be much more gentle. He is 100% the opposite of Muzan, and
100%.
It becomes a lot more clear in the final episode, and even kind of the way that they structured it. And we'll talk about it in a bit. But he's completely the opposite. He's kind. He's open. Even though that the Hashiras, the pillars themselves, they're like, "Yo, we don't agree with you." It's not like he flies off the handle and says like, "Well, you're banned," or "You need to leave."
Yeah,
et cetera,
his
et
word
cetera.
is still absolute, and they understand that regardless of how they feel about it. And he's like,
but
he wants their opinion though. He wants their
opinion. But yes, they're 100% open for opinion, and he's introduced and he sees even Tanjiro headbutts Tsunemi. He's shown kind of the resolve of Tanjiro, and he's shown the resolve of Nezuko themselves, and like, listen, they're solid with me. Shit.
Yeah, they not. She didn't eat no human right now. Yeah. I don't know why y'all mad.
Right.
Hey, it's crazy, and it's funny though because he has all the pillars respect him to the utmost. He is he's pretty much God in that to them. But as much respect as they're showing, they're like every time they talk, they're like, "Yo, sorry for the disrespect, but I can't rock with it."
Yeah, they're apologizing after everything that they say because they realized that he's at that point they had already realized that he was okay with what was happening. So
yeah,
right, 100%. I mean, he's introduced in terms of the visual of him. I think the most prominent thing on him is his face. Which apparently is a curse mark that is slowly killing him. Yeah. It is a part, and it's going to become a recurring thing throughout the series. I think Jamal can even speak to that as well in terms of his health and kind of like where it's going and how it ends up as the series goes on. But yeah, he's the major important. He's the head of honcho. He's the guy, and it's interesting that they finally reveal him towards the end of this, which kind of like marks again the pacing of the show.
Yeah, man.
Not giving you everything at once, not spelling out everything for you at once. They give you a couple things. I think the Muzan thing, introducing that a little bit early, it's very cool, but not introducing like, oh, here's the opposition immediately. Like you kind of, a lot of characters, they get their time, they get their period. Let's slow it down. Let's make sure everything is important. Let's develop these characters before we get to these characters, so we can leave context for these characters. So once again, yeah, we see Kagaya Ubuyashiki, and yeah, he lets them go. The poor two those little, I don't think they're demon slayers. They're like the help. I forgot what they're called. Who have
girls?
To like drag? There's a girl and a guy.
Oh, you're talking about the
who have to drag them out of here, and it was like, oh my god, fucking
stop being disrespectful.
God damn, they were fed up. They were fed up with Tanjiro, bro. They're like, get your ass out of here.
Because they're probably looking at fucking the girls like, yo, he about to elbow drop me too if I don't get you.
I'm not gonna survive it though.
It's crazy. But I think that was, in terms of just the introduction of all of them, I think it was a fun way to introduce them all. You get these little glimpses of them, but you also get their character, and not even just their character, but how they interact with one another and what their main goal is. And eventually they show the meeting that they all have, and the basis of their meeting is essentially like, yo, that mountain shit, poof. We need stronger demons.
Yeah, it's like, look, this shit looking sideways right now.
Yeah, like, bro, listen, our team. Yeah, he's like, our team isn't. We not stacked right. Like, we got a lot of, we got a lot of weak points, and the pillars aren't the only ones that are able to kind of stop all this. Right. I do, but like even before that conversation, like you could see that Kagaya, he sees a lot of potential in Tanjiro, and he wants to buy into that, even if it comes with the threat of, or not even really the threat, but like with Nezuko and like the unpredictability of Nezuko, how if she could turn or not. But he sees the potential in him as a as a future pillar maybe.
Yeah, he definitely whatever he sees in Tanjiro outweighs his troubles on what Nezuko could bring. I mean, he's clearly like, all right, there's more potential in this boy. We gotta pay attention.
He's son Nezuko though, or he's son's Tanjiro though. because he's like, "Hey, go kill or go kill one of the moons." And Tanjiro's like, "I'm gonna kill Muzan." He's like, chill.
I mean, no. Time out. He was right to do that, though. He was right because I'm like, it's like, calm down, bro. You're not about to kill Muzan, bro. Like, calm down just a little.
Oh man, he clowned him in front of the class, bro.
Because like, at that point, that's a leader. He got to say that because he's got some of the best, swordsmen sitting down in front of him, and you talking about
who haven't even seen Muzan.
Right.
Yeah, they haven't even seen this thing.
You're gonna kill him? Calm down, man. Calm down. So I did like that they were all laughing and giggling. Like it showed like that human side, which you don't see a lot of it, but it's cool.
Well, I think towards the end he has that meeting with Shinobu, and they kind of get the sense that, especially after all the training that we'll talk about in a bit, that it may be Tanjiro's destiny to finally fight Muzan, and maybe we should instead of I don't know, I guess turning a cheek at it or laughing at it, maybe we should fully embrace it and make sure that this kid gets as strong as he should be, because he may be a key player. He's the one who's seen Muzan. He has the sister who's a demon who appears to be kind of special. He has the flame breathing techniques that we've seen before. Like it's there's a lot of things. Like Kaguya is like, yo, my man might be onto something. He might be, number 1 draft pick in this class right now. Like, that's real. He may be something. Let's get into the aftermath. We can breeze through a couple of these different things in terms of the aftermath of the entire Mount Nataguma arc, because Tanjiro horribly injured. He's just broken ribs. I think there's a broken leg. I think there's a broken multiple things. Zenitsu has possibly the funniest prognosis ever. Because he
get ready for a lot of him in this little part.
Yeah, he had been poisoned, and his limbs are tiny, and they still haven't grown yet. And he does not want to drink whatever tea is.
He didn't want to take his medicine.
He didn't want to take his meds, man. He's nasty. Man, he was wild. It tastes like Dayquil. I had to take Dayquil the other day. Dayquil is the worst medicine in the world.
It's awful.
Oh my god, that's listen. If it was like if they're having them drink Dayquil, I understand. Like I wouldn't have took it either. I'd have been like, I'll keep the baby limbs. He had Whopper Junior hands.
He did.
Oh my god, he had the worst things ever. Like his limbs are shorter. He's just like, yo, his shirt don't fit, his pants don't fit. Like,
and you gotta understand, he's already a picky, person. Like he's already aggravating as it is to just like on a normal day-to-day basis, so listening to him during this situation and complaining about his meds and training and all that, man, oh god.
Inosuke seems to be going through some postpartum or some internal crisis or some depression or something.
Oh man, he's out of there, man. Broken throat? I mean, I don't even know what it was. And then his pride's broke. He's just sitting in bed. He's just like, he could barely talk.
He got his esophagus crushed.
Yeah, man.
And his pride is gone too. I think he cares more about his pride than his actual, his speech.
It was Vegeta after the Android 18 fight.
Absolutely was.
Yes.
That's
where he's looking at the sky in the rain. He's like, what do I have to do to become stronger? He's like,
what's next for me?
Someone shows up and trying to usurp that and threatens my Saiyan pride or whatever the hell it is. And I guess this would be like his boar pride or something along those lines. Someone threatens me all the time. First of all their swords are broken. The funniest part is when the swordsmiths come back. Like that to me is the best part.
That's just that part. So funny, dude.
Because these swordsmiths, they are, I mean, I'm sure they have actual names as well, but their swordsmiths, they are serious about their craft. Like, they're like, yo, you broke my sword, I will kill you.
It's tedious. You guys never watched Forge Wars?
No,
bro.
On History Channel? Y'all need to check out Forge Wars on History Channel, man.
Okay, listen, they got a reality show for everything, don't they?
They'll give them a specific type of sword from a specific region or history or a movie, and it's like a elimination type thing. There's like 3 steps. You got to build the sword, but it's really cool.
And then we get the story of Shinobu and Kanao and Kane, and that entire story. I mean, all these stories are various degrees of depressing. I think Kanao's story of her being a little girl and pretty much being abused in all sorts of ways, and her just being her entire spirit and her entire just thing has just been broken, and it's wild because you still see the remnants of it today. Like she's still broken. She still can't make decisions on her own.
But she's so sweet. She's so sweet. That's what makes it so fucking sad, bro. Like watching that shit back was like, damn.
I don't know. She was whooping Tanjiro and Inosuke's ass a little bit. Like,
she's still sweet though.
Oh, she's cold. Oh, she's nice with it, but she's still like I say, she's still really. You can tell she's kind. You can tell she's really just kind of like just sweet and nice. But yeah, you know what's crazy is like Jeff just said, I had kind of, I want to say forgot about her story, but rewatching it, I was like, yo, like this is heartbreaking. Like they all have heartbreaking stories, but this one is up there in terms of like, how she was treated, like how she was saved, all those things. Like it was, insane.
It was insane. The mark of, I think, in trying to not necessarily transition, but kind of segue into their relationships with Tanjiro, because they both have very important interactions with Tanjiro through these last couple episodes. And Shinobu has that conversation with Tanjiro on the mountain, and essentially like, yo, my older sister was killed by a demon. I will never forgive demons for the things that they do, and I still haven't fully recovered from it, which is kind of the way the reason why I am the way I am. But your relationship with Nezuko kind of like instills to me that maybe there is some truth, and maybe we can become friends, and maybe there is some sort of, I think she kind of saw it as most of the Hashiras see it, as this kind of black and white situation of, no, demons are bad. They just are, and we have to kill them. But they don't really see it from the aspect that Tanjiro sees it because of his old experience of that. They're actually humans too. I mean, they're at one point humans, and they still have kind of emotions and feelings. He's gone through all these things. He's killed.
He's confirmed. He's confirmed.
He's killed many a crying demon.
Definitely begging for their lives.
And he's smelling the kind of like depression and like all the other things that they've gone through and all this other stuff. So he kind of instills faith within her. And then he also does it to Kanao as well. I mean, after they finish the training, I won't go through the entire training montage. Essentially, Tanjiro learns total concentration, breathing constant, which means he's doing it all the time, every time when he's sleeping. Those three little girls would beat his ass if he wasn't doing that.
He was on the Gohan and Gohan,
exactly.
He's a Super Saiyan, 24/7, even when you sleep.
So it used that. He says use that so they aren't able to expend so much energy and all this other stuff like that, and they're actually remain stronger throughout their entire, just being. So total concentration, breathing constant seems like a thumbs up. He learns that, and as he's leaving for his next mission, he bumps into Kanao, and they have this conversation as well. Not sure if there's a little romantic little.
It's one of the cutest moments in the season, I think.
Best boy.
Yeah, that was cute as fuck. He was running game low key. Like Tanjiro was running game so well that it didn't look like game. Like that's really,
listen,
and that's really how it's done right there. Like that's how it's done, baby. Like just go in there. He led.
What kind of coin is this? It's a nickel. It's a quarter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Let me show you something. I want you to never.
He flipped the hell out of that coin, though. He tossed that. He flipped that shit to the roof.
It was very smooth when she's like, "How'd you know it was gonna be us?" He's like, "Baby, you know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about that." That's basically what he said.
He flips the coin in there. I mean, so Kanao just doesn't. She's the mental breakdown has just been there forever. Like she isn't able to make decisions on her own. She flips a coin to kind of make every decision that she made. She even flipped the coin to talk to him, and eventually it's on heads. That's how you know it's destiny. You know what I'm saying? It was probably a double-headed coin. You know what I'm saying?
She flipped it twice.
So she could talk to Tanjiro, and Tanjiro was like, yo, this coin, listen, let me flip it. If it's heads, I don't want you ever using this coin ever again. You start talking like real people. You know what I'm saying? So he flips it. Obviously, it lands on heads. And then he like dips off cool in the night. You always gotta do that. Like,
no, he did it, man. He did the thing. She was spooked, bro. She like in a good way. She was like, whoa, like this nigga right here. Wow, like, when am I gonna see him again?
For real, bro. He came, man. He put game on so smooth. That was crazy.
I could see that being, maybe that is something in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they had the bond from the whole training thing, so I guess that they kind of like used to each other and kind of know each other at that point. They have the bond of being in the same final selection class, so that's also very interesting. It's interesting to see all the journeys that all these final selection people kind of take.
That's real.
We even get the glimpse of the other guy.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. But all I know
He
is
is
that
he is the brother of Sheena Zawawa. Yeah.
That's all I know. That's all I know at this point.
That's all you
He
need.
shows up on HGH because he's huge,
bro. He changed.
Oh, and when you find out the reason why he looks like that, it's even more insane. Of why he looks like a man. Yeah, he's on his steroid cycle. He's on cycle right now.
Oh my god, he's huge. So I mean, you get the little, that's why Tanjiro's best boy. I mean, even though did he win best boy?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I thought the
Nezuko didn't win best girl though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why he best boy, because he just has an effect on all characters throughout the series. The final little bit that we get through in this entire arc, I wouldn't say the final bit, but it's probably the most prominent, is the return of Muzan. And if you thought Kagaya was not happy with the way Demon Slayers are dropping like flies, he is not happy that his golden boy Rui is dead and all his family's dead, and y'all ain't do nothing about it, and y'all keep getting killed by the same little red-headed boy, who show up, and now he can do flame stuff, and now it's like, oh god,
now I'm pissed about that. Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah, listen, he mad, bro. I
gotta disguise myself as a woman now because
he's like, yo, this
because he's
fire.
seen me. And
oh man,
now I gotta wear this fucking dress because of you niggas.
He's hot, bro. Listen. He's mad. He's like, y'all getting killed by a dude with dangly earrings. I don't understand this. Like, bro, like,
listen.
I mean, and I mean, really, you could call this may be, this may be the best scene. You can fight between this one and the fight with Rue, man, but this scene is like one of the coolest, darkest. It is some of the craziest shit in this series. Is just this and it's like this one scene is like 15 minutes.
First of all, not even first of all, because everyone's making great points here. His lair just becomes, now that you see it and then you kind of understand what happens in the anime, it's great because we come back to it. So it's a great kind of like visual look. But to me, that one demon who's like, I'm out of here.
He trying to hit the race.
Well, think about it. He's thinking about his odds at that point, right? He's like, I mean, if I stay, it's over. If I at least try to escape it and I get away. But Muzan really shows how all-seeing, all-powerful he is when he tries to escape, which is just like, again, this scene is brilliant. Like, brilliant. I'm
wondering, that moment where he kind of destroys the rest of the demons and eats the demons and that thing comes out of him. I'm wondering if that's like, if you read the manga, you kind of eventually kind of see his form. His eventual form. I'm wondering if that's part of it, like if that's part of the look of his form or not. Like, I'm interested. But yeah, he murks pretty much every other demon, except one who stuck around.
Sometimes she's ready for death.
Sometimes she's like, yo. And then I think he asked her a question. He was like, yo, what would you do if your son was at home crying alone on the bedroom floor? And he's just,
she answers. She's like, I would. This is how I want to die. Like, just do it, please. This would make me so happy, and that's all.
It would be an honor to die from you. And he was like, you know what? I like that.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you more of my demon blood.
Yeah,
and even at that moment, he didn't even know she survived that. Which is crazy to also think about. It's like, hey, I'm gonna give you more blood. If you make it through the transformation, I got some shit for you to do.
Boom. And that leads to that demon eventually being on top of the train, the Infinite Train, which is going to lead to the next arc, the Infinite Train arc, which is essentially the next movie that will star, once you see, the three guys, Zenitsu, Nosuke, Tanjiro, also Rengoku, also probably Muzan. and etc. like that. And we get to, it's the perfect kind of like lay into, okay, this is where we're gonna get to next season. All the people that we love are stronger. All the people that who are evil are becoming stronger and becoming more, realizing what's going on there. All the good guys, we're going to see a lot more of these. If you thought just seeing Giyu was fucking amazing, now we have his 8 other, friends, unquote friends,
personalities,
moves,
powers.
It's gonna be crazy, really seeing all these things, man. Like, if the animation for Giyu was crazy, just the other stuff is gonna be absolutely out of this world. Like, this, man, I can't wait to visually see all these things, because even reading the manga, it looks cool, but like when you actually get the animation, the colors, and all these things added, it's just different. Like, the way I even got into Demon Slayer is because of Jeff. Jeff texted me after, what was it, episode 18 or something like that?
It was, I feel like it may have been the roof fight.
And he just texted me. All I got was a 1-word text. And I was like, he was like, watch it, bro. And I was like, I turned it on. I think I like ran through it. I got all the way caught up by, I think, maybe a day or two.
Yeah, you texted me like the day, like 2 days later or something like that.
Yeah, but
I think I said, tell me when you get to episode like so and so or whatever. But I was like, yeah, this is it, man. This is the one.
In terms of what we know about the movie thus far, the movie will obviously be the next arc. If you cannot wait for the movie, like us amazing folks, it is already adapted in the manga. It is chapters, I believe, 54 through 69. The Infinity Train arc, which the movie will focus on before we get into the second season of the show. It is expected to drop sometime in 2020 per
the bag is
confirmation. Bigger. Yeah, per confirmation at the Anime Awards from
the
show's creator after he won Anime of the Year, which is a major flex. Like, I would have rather a
super flex.
Whatever.
Bruh, honest to God, like, as soon as I won that, I'm announcing the date. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm surprised they did not have anything planned for the Anime Awards, for the simple fact that they knew they were going to clean up. There was no way there's no way I felt that they weren't knowing. Like, hey, they're gonna win these awards. Like, they should have.
Anime. Yeah, it's taken a new realm, and we're seeing things happen faster as viewers. Thank God, but they're still not quite there. And to me, it makes perfect sense. I guess the reason is maybe they have a different reason as to why they're not going to, but I think that's the smartest way is announce your release date at that very moment, because that's massive, but whatever. I mean, they're just not quite there yet, but I feel like we're getting there.
I feel like in general though, like, and I think, especially when it comes to like movies and things like that, there's going to be a change in it, because even the My Hero movie comes out, or the My Hero movie is going to come out, and they haven't even dropped a lot of trailers for that either. And so I think
point, when you hear this, it'll already be out.
Yeah, it'll be out. Right. It'll already be out. That's why I was like, oh, but no,
it was amazing.
It was, but even though for that movie they didn't drop a lot of trailers leading up to it. I mean, there was probably I think 1 or 2, but I think that's gonna start changing soon. It's like, I think that will be changing.
Somebody's got to set the terms, and like I said, I think Super did a lot. I think I said it, on the last episode. Without that Super film doing what it did, we may not even be looking at this film coming to the theaters or whatever, as far as Demon Slayer is concerned. So they have to set these paths down so others can break it, and they probably see what Super did from an anime genre and said, hey, we can go do that, or we can get close to that shit, and then even close to that is a success. So
but I'm excited for the movie. I need it yesterday.
It was great.
100%. Jamal, thank you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
On this episode of The Lookout, especially one that we closed up the entire thing and wrapped up this first season of Demon Slayer in a nice, interesting bunch. Please let them know where they could find you, where they can follow you, and where they can listen to your show, even though it's plainly obvious.
All right, man. Thank you guys again, man. It's always fun being like just talking this anime and manga, stuff with you guys. You can follow me on Twitter at JamalSLM. You can follow me on Instagram at StrawHatLJ. Big Eyes every Thursday on the Lookout Network, where we just talk about manga. And, I talk about Demon Slayer on manga. So if you're a fan of the show and a fan of the manga and you want to listen to me talk more about it, especially with the current arc and the things that are happening now, tune in.
I'm about to be on the show soon.
Oh yeah, Jeff is gonna be on the show soon. We got something special planned.
Yes.
So, is this one of those things where it would have been out by the time this episode
I know,
comes
right?
out?
Hey, you guys may hear this and may have already heard the episode. But.
Yeah, you may have. So, but nah, man, Big Eyes. Like I say, if you're a fan of manga, that's where you come to listen about the latest chapters and things that are going on, in popular mangas. But yeah, that's really it.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been episode 55 of The Lookout. Make sure once again you follow us at The Lookout RNC on Twitter, at The Lookout RNC on Instagram. You can follow at The Lookout on RNC Radio, and you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, pretty much anywhere.
And YouTube.
And YouTube.
Hey, man.
And of course, on transistor.fm, you can listen to us there as well. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys stay ready, stay tuned, and stay blessed. We will be back with The Lookout pretty soon. Take care.